Hi guys, hope everyone's well. Dave Coles from 360 Fit. I've been a bit quiet on here recently because I've been sort of focusing on a lot of my own kind of stuff. But just had a bit of a thought. I was just going through some stuff in my head then, as I do. And I thought, if I don't get this out there and share it, then it's a bit selfish of me. So there you go. It's just a short one, this. When you have a thought, and it's something that can be, negative and positive, you know, you can have an emotion attached to it. But if you've got a negative sort of loop, that some kind of, when you think about something in your life, and you keep having this sort of almost like this perpetual loop of feelings attached to it, you know, so you get the thought, and on the other end of that thought, there's an emotion attached. So it's almost like your conscious is creating the thought. As it does, sometimes it's, you're like, why do you keep generating that thought? You know, it don't make me feel good. So your conscious has this funny way of doing it. It will generate a thought. There's an emotion, feeling attached, which is your sort of subconscious reacting to it. And sometimes it's not pleasant, you know, if you've got stuff in the past that's bothered you, or stuff in the future that you can be, you know, anxious about. There's a way of quite a simple way of taking a lot of energy out of that. It won't get rid of it, but if it's a negative feeling, it won't get rid of it, but it will take a lot of the oomph out of it, and it will make it less effective of bringing you down and, you know, playing on your mind and having that negative impact on the way that you feel. So go through it. Have a thought, and it's probably something that I'm sure we've all got them. No one's got a perfect life. You'll have a thought, usually something that's happened in your past. Whatever it may be, something you said, something you did, a way that you acted, something someone's done to you to make you feel a certain way. Anyway, so have the thoughts, whatever it may be, and on top of that thought comes the emotion and the feeling, right? If it's a negative feeling, you don't like it, then a good way of taking a lot of energy away from that is to become the watcher of your thoughts. So in my mind, I sort of break it down into like 3 sections. So I have the thought. And imagine as a watcher, imagine that you are a watcher within your own mind. You're like almost assessing it with a notebook, like a little counsellor sat in your own head, right? So the little counsellor's always there, and he's always like looking around. It's you, you know, you're a part of your mind, a part of your psyche's there, always on the lookout with his notebook and pen out, waiting, or her pen out. So you're waiting there within your own mind. A thought pops up, and you go, oh, okay, and the little watcher's there with his notebook and his pen. So the thought happens. And then you go, all right, cool, there's that thought again. So the watcher's there with his notebook and pen. And then the emotions attached to it. It's a negative feeling. Oh, we don't like that. Okay, and the watcher writes it down. We don't like that. Why don't we like that? That's interesting. Start writing, you know, he sat there writing stuff down. It doesn't really matter what he's writing down initially. If you want to delve into that more, then you can. But initially, just to take a lot of the energy, a lot of the negative power out of that emotion. So you have the thought, and then you have the emotion attached to it. And then because you are now the watcher of your thoughts, it's almost like it just takes a lot of energy out of it, and you go, oh, right, okay. And you can almost like have a grin at yourself, and you go, really? You keep doing that. You're doing that about 20 times a day. Why do you keep doing that? You know, why does your mind keep doing that to you? And you could almost have a word of it in your brain, and go, the watcher can go, yeah, you know how you keep generating that thought? It doesn't make you feel good. Why'd you do it? Are you crazy? Are you loco? You know, and you can almost have that little chat in your own head with yourself, and you go, oh, funny old thing. And it sucks a lot of the energy out of the negative feeling. So try it. Become the watcher of your thoughts. I'll leave it there because it's nearly 4 minutes. I like to waffle on. So there you go. So to summarise, to take a lot of negative feeling away from an emotion, you can become the watcher of your thoughts. So imagine there's three parts of the process. Have the thought, have the emotion, and be the watcher of it and analyse it in your own head. Imagine you're sort of sat within your own mind on a chair, watching a thought happen, watching the emotion happen, and then you go, oh, that's interesting, and you're writing some stuff down. There you go. Let me know your thoughts on that. I'm sure there's some people out there with a lot more qualifications on me that can add a lot of meat to them bones, but I like to keep it simple and effective. There you go. Feel free to share. You know, it's quite good information. That rumbling noise, if you can hear it, it's not me trumping. Cute as she. Anyway, much love, guys. Keep it real. Look after yourselves.